350 hour review on the Massey Ferguson 5610. Both of those fuel filters are still bigger than the John Deere fuel filters. Push the tractor fairly hard. I think it's more than clean powerful enough. User settable functions to this transmission in ways you can use it that I haven't seen in any other tractor. I think it's a very good tractor. I think AGCO has a very good product here. The fuel usage on this tractor is just amazing. John Deere's got some catching up to do, and many of the other manufacturers do too. Alright folks, so let's talk about the transmission on this tractor a little bit. I'll probably be hopping up in the cab here in a moment and showing you some things in there, but I'll just first off go around the outside of it. I can't really show it to you too well here, but I'll show you what I can of it, let you see that it's leak free and dry and whatnot here, and then we'll hop up inside. My most favorite part of this tractor is the transmission. The transmission in this tractor is very good. It's smooth. It shifts very smooth. The spacing of the gears seems very good. Again, it's fast on the highway, and there's a lot of user settable functions to this transmission and ways you can use it that I haven't seen in any other tractor this size. Maybe some of the larger row crop tractors, but for this segment of tractor on the market, regarding the transmission, I think John Deere has got some catching up to do, and many of the other manufacturers do too. But this is a big transmission. As I've noted in my first review, the transmission on this tractor, it bolts right up to the engine. It runs all the way to the back axle. And it's big and it's beefy. As I've noted on the Deeres, like my 6415, the 6330 I had, even the 95M I believe was the same way. At the back of the engine it stops. Then there's a gap, and then you have the transmission. And there's a drive shaft that goes from the engine to the transmission. You can crawl up in there under there and look. And it's there. And there's a void. So the transmissions are a little smaller on the Deeres than they are this. This one's big and beefy, so I like that. I like big beefy. I like a heavy tractor. That's just me. But if you can look past all the oil here from just the hydraulic ports, I'll let you look in here again. Here's the top of the transmission, the back. You know, it's a little dirty, but I can easily get an air hose in there and blow all that out if I want to. You know, it's a big transmission. It goes way on up in there, but like I said, it looks clean and dry, other than just the normal dirt and stuff on there. See if I can get over this side a little bit. Let you look down in there. Let you look at the back axles here. But yeah, it's you know, it looking good from the outside. So that's about all I can show and do here on the transmission from the outside. You can kind of see here from the front where it comes up here to the engine. I can go over the other side to see. But yeah, you can see some more dirt and stuff here. Yeah, most of the lines and everything in the transmission hydraulics are all over here on this one side. You can crawl underneath and get to all of them pretty well. But again, this looks good. The front axle, I guess I'll go ahead and show you it while I'm down here, since you would be part of the drivetrain here. No leaks, universal joints up in there are all good. It seems tight, no issues. And speaking of the four-wheel drive, you know, I've complained about the deers binding these automatic, you know, when you press the brakes, and it does it on this tractor too, but the function of it anyway. You press the brakes on the deers, you know, at a certain speed, and it will automatically engage the four-wheel drive. Well, if you're moving hair and a lot and you're turned and the four-wheel drive's coming in and out, it would bind on the deers. This tractor, I very rarely ever even feel it going in and out, because this one, at any speed, any time, even if you're setting still, when you press the brakes, it's going to engage the four-wheel drive. Even when you set the parking brake on this tractor, it engages the four-wheel drive. So you're not just braking the rear wheels, you're braking all four tires, wheels at the same time, which is a good added safety feature there. Anyway, let me go ahead and close this hood. Okay, so I just closed the hood there before we go inside the tractor. But let's go up in here and have a look at the transmission, talk about it a little bit. Since it's hot as blazes, I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up. Now I've got the door open, so you're going to hear it fire up here. I'm going to get some air going. Alright, so get the air conditioner going here, so we'll talk about the transmission here just a little bit. So like I said, the transmission is my most favorite part of the tractor, and it's like I said, I have it of all. Like when I was shopping for this tractor, I looked at several tractors. And I didn't see anything else like this transmission. This is one of the things that sold me on this tractor, is the transmission and the fact that the engine didn't have any of the emissions equipment that a lot of them have got on it now. I know I've went over some of these functions before of the transmission. But I'm just going to try and go over them again here briefly in case you didn't know, and I may show you some of the functions in action here a little bit. But anyway, I'll start out here. This is your main transmission lever. The first thing you'll notice, this tractor, there's no big gear shift in this tractor. You know, this is your loader joystick, but you get transmission functions here. So this lever right here basically does a couple of things. If you You push it forward, you increase your gear, pull it backwards, you decrease the gear. If you want to jump ranges, say from range B to C, you push this button here on the end and push it forward, and it will jump ranges. Same thing if you go down range, you're going backwards. But the first thing you jump in this tractor you're going to do is look for a gear shift to change gears. Well, this is kind of it. But this transmission is so integrated into the tractor that this is not where you're going to go grab to start moving. So let's start with the basics here of this transmission, and what you need to do first when you first get in the tractor for the very first time, and start using it. And maybe I'll make it simple on some of you guys here. If you look at this screen, you see I got a 2C and a 2B. What that's saying is I'm in range 2, gear C, for forward motion, and the 2B is gear 2 range, or it's range 2. Back up, it's gear 2 range B for reverse. So what that means is if I'm using the power reverser and or my forward reverser button on the loader joystick here, I'm going to go to 2C forward or 2B backwards, and I can define what I want those gears to be. Now this is a 16 forward, 16 reverse transmission and gears. This transmission, it reminds me of our old 4440 John Deere that had a 8 speeds forward, and I think maybe 4 gears reverse. But what it reminds me about is in that 4440 John Deere, once you put that tractor in first gear, you can take the lever and go up or down in gears all the way from its first gear to its 8th gear without ever using the clutch. Now there was a place or two in there on the 4440 where it kind of jumped a range and you could feel it jerk. Sometimes you'd use the clutch, go between those certain gears. But anyway, this tractor is very similar in that theory. Once you start out in the gear, you can go all the way to top gear, all the way to the bottom gear, by using, your gear shifter here, your plus or minus buttons, or your reverser lever here, which will shift gears up and down. You can go all through all the gears without ever using the clutch. And I like that. On the Deeres, if you needed to switch ranges, you had to clutch, manually shift the gear lever, and then like the power quad, you had the buttons that would go through the 4 power shift gears. But anyway, having said that, the first thing you want to do is identify the gears that you want to run in. And like I said, this has run very smooth for me. But to set these gears on this display is pretty easy. What we're going to do is we're going to press in the clutch, and I'm going to take my power reverser lever here and put it in a gear. And if I want to move that 2C there on the display to 2D, I'm going to have to hold the camera here funny. All I've got to do is push this lever here and this lever here up at the same time. So what I'm going to do, if I can set the camera down here somewhere, maybe I can hold it like this. I'm going to do that, and you will see that, whoop, put it back neutral here. You can see it went 2D, 2D. So when you do that, the tractor is going to automatically set your reverse gear to match your forward gear. But if you want your reverse gear to be something different, all you got to do is bring the reverser to the reverse mode, come over here to the gear shift lever, and bring it down. So, well, I did it again. So there we go, we got a 2D and a 2B. So if I want to put it back where I had it on the 2C, I'm just going to take this lever here and my reverser, bring them down together. I've got my 2C, so let's put my 2B back on here. And well, I keep going the wrong way. It's the opposite direction when you're in reverse. So there we go. Put it back neutral. So I got my 2C and my 2B there again. So that's the first thing you do. So when you jump into this tractor, after that's been set, when you set that, it stays that way till you mess with it again. If you jump in this tractor, crank it up, and are ready to go, all you got to do is depress your clutch, let go of your parking brake, and put your reverser in gear. So I do that, let out the clutch, and here we go. So we'll do a little in action video here. So I'll give it a little throttle, and if I want to change gears, I can do it here on the reverser. So we went to 2D. I can do it here on the gear shift, which it jump ranges to 3A. If I want to speed up again, I can even do it right here on the joystick. So we're 3B. Same thing for decelerating or going down in gears. I can use my reverser there, I can use my lever here, or I can use my button here, and we'll come back down to a crawl here. So that's one way of putting the tractor in gear. Now another thing I'll show you here, I just did it, I'll do it again, is you've got a declutch feature in your power reverser here. So if I want to declutch the tractor, so put it, neutral basically, all I gotta do is pick up on that reverser. If I let back down on it, so I'm at clutch. Now I'm not using the clutch down here. You can see both of those in the video, but I just pick up right there and let back out, it'll clutch. I don't have to use my foot. Same things over here on the loader joystick. There's a button right back here. I can't show it to you, but there's a button right here. I'm going to use this finger. I'm going to press it in. We come down to a stop. I let it out. It'll take back off. So there's two methods of clutching the tractor. Of course, you've got your normal method, which would be using the actual physical clutch pedal. So I put it back in park there, let out. You can see, as I was showing you earlier, or telling you earlier, the four-wheel drive light comes on when I pull the parking brake on here, and it tells you an indication that you're in park, tells you park on this side of the screen. So the way I always put this in gear, I don't hardly ever use the power reverser lever unless I'm bush hogging or something where I'm going forward and backward a lot, and I'm turned around, this way. My other arm is freer than, say, my right arm. I'll use the power reverser. But when I get in this tractor, what I do, I push in the clutch, I let down the brake pedal, or the brake handle there, parking brake, and I just hit this button right here on the joystick. I let out. Like I said, it's automatically going to gear 2C, which is what I preset. And then I can just use my lever over here or my buttons here on the loader joystick to to operate the transmission. One of the questions I've got about this tractor, another commonality question among y'all, does it shift smooth? Apparently some of you have got some tractors that are jerky shifters, I'll say. It's smooth. I mean, we're in here now. I mean, we're in a little bit of a rough field, but just demonstrating. I mean, it's very smooth. But you can, I can find them here in these menus. There it is, first menu. This screen here, I'm sorry if I'm jerking around a little bit. This +3, these are settings for your, how you want the transmission to shift. Firm or soft, going forward or backwards. Well, let me take it back. It's your it's how soft or hard you want your forward or backward to shift, and then the bottom one, the third one here, is actually how firm or hard or soft or hard you want it to shift, whether you're just switching gears up and down. So you can set that in this tractor. I've left it there on those +3 since I bought it. Have been fine with it all the way up through the road gears. It's very smooth. So anywho, I hope that showed you a little bit of the transmission. Well, actually, I'm missing something here. I'm gonna pull back out here to show you. There's another function here to this transmission, and it's right here. It's automatic mode. So if I engage, I just press the automatic shifting mode. There was you see that symbol in P3C show up there, and that's user definable in these menus. I'm not going to have time today to go through all these menus, but there they are. This tractor will automatically shift like an automatic transmission for you. So I'm here in 2C and give it a little throttle. I'm going to increase this little knob here. There we go. I got to get above 1500 RPM. Now watch, it is automatically, I'm not doing anything, going up through gears. 4A, 4B, and I'm going to have to slow down because this field's bumpy. But it automatically shifted through the gears. So that's a feature of the automatic transmission. I believe I've got it set to start doing that when I get over 1500 RPM. We'll do it again here going back. Again, I'm not pressing anything. I'm just going to give it an increase in throttle here. There it starts. Went 2D, there went 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, and I'll back off before it gets going too fast here. You can hear my little squeak I was telling you about there in the cab. But anyway, that's part of the automatic mode. I haven't used that a lot, but I did want to show you that it's there. And it will automatically shift, and it will, if you're in that mode in the engine. If you're in that mode and the engine starts to become underpowered or starts needing more power, it will downshift on its own like an automatic transmission would say. But that's the feature. If you get one of these tractors, you can play around with it and experiment. I don't really have it set up here it's set up more for road use there than here in the field, but I've got my point across on how it works, hopefully there. Okay, so I think I may have forgotten to show you one little thing here on the transmission as I was doing my review video. So since I haven't edited those videos yet, I will try to work this in. and I don't know why I didn't touch on it, but or I may have, but I didn't explain it in detail. But I have showed you this in my earlier initial review videos of the transmission extractor, but I just want to put this in here again in case somebody's watching this that hadn't seen it. But I didn't touch on the automatic declutch mode with the brake pedals. I have found that is very useful in baling hay or loader work. Again, this tractor is really set up for loader work. It makes a great loader tractor if you're doing a lot of loader work. But anyway, there is a feature of part of the transmission, and it's in the menus over here that you can turn on, and it will allow the tractor to declutch upon pressing the brake pedal. So you don't need to actually use a physical clutch. So if you're using the loader or using a baler or something where you have to use the brake to stop a lot, you can just press the brake. And if you're using a bell kicker on your baler, you don't have to do anything else. Just let your baler out, dump it, close the gate, and then just let back off the brake pedal, and you'll go back forward. It'll clutch and everything automatically. But if you're doing loader work, you can use the brake and then use your reverse button on the joystick to change directions, and all you do is let back out the brake. So I'm going to demonstrate that again for those of you that may not have seen the earlier videos, and I'll try to work this into the review video real quick, since I think I failed to mention in there. So anyway, first thing I want to do is turn it on. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let you see down here at the display on the left hand side. I'm just going to go through the menus here. Again, that's the menu for your softness or hardness of the shifting of the power reverser and or going up and down through gears. And then there's the screen we want right there. That bottom one that's showing the brake pedal and the clutch symbol, it's off right now, so we hit the OK down here on the keypad. Hit that, now it's on. So to demonstrate this, first off I'm going to clutch it, put my parking brake, take it off, hit my forward reverse button here on the joystick. Then I will start forward travel here, and to stop, all I've got to do is hit the brake pedal, is clutch and stop. So if I want to continue going, I just let back out. It's automatically clutching and taking back off again. So I just hit the brake pedal and stop. And like I said, if you were baling at this point, assuming you had a full bell warning, you let your baler do its thing, and when it gets done, you dump your bale and you're back ready to go. All you got to do is do that. Now again, that's if you're using a bell kicker, and bell is kicked out from behind the gate of the baler. If you're not using a bell kicker, then obviously you would put it in reverse, back up, put it back forward. You can still do that. That's what I've done before. I've got a lot of hilly ground, so I don't use the bell kicker a lot, and that's a really nice feature there on the transmission that I wanted to make sure I pointed out. Okay, I may work this into the video too, since I'm here near a smooth gravel road. I thought I would re-show you the automatic mode of the transmission, just to clarify that, in case I didn't show you that good enough in the field, because I find this more helpful for on-road use than say using it in the field. But anyway, again, as I've showed you, this button right here turns your automatic transmission mode on and off. So I'm going to press that, and if you'll watch this left-hand display, see it comes up, and I've got it set to gear 4A. And the way you set that gear is by this little thumb wheel right here. So if you'll see, I turn it, it can go up and down. So I'll leave it at 4A there. And the RPM over here on the left side of that, use the other thumb wheel, the SV1 here, and you can set the point in the RPMs in the throttle at which you want that to activate. So it will not automatically shift until you go over that threshold. So I've got it on, and I've got my RPMs. We'll drop them down there to about 1100. And I'll try to hold the camera here, and I will show you this in operation. So I'm just going to ease out on the clutch. So we start forward motion here. And I'm going to go on up in my RPMs there if you can see them. So we're still staying in gear 2C, which is what I've got the tractor set to start off in. So as you can see, we're at 1520, 30 RPMs. It's not shifting. So I give it just a little bit more throttle. I went over the threshold, now it's shifting on its own. I'm not doing anything, as you can see, and it's working its way on up through the gears. So there it stopped at 4A, which is what I've got it set to do. So I will stop here, and I know the sunlight's shining, so I'll let it go through it again here in this shady area, just in case you didn't see that good. So we'll take back off. We're in 2C, so I'm going to go ahead and run my RPMs. I'm over the threshold, and now it's going to automatically start shifting. And I ain't doing anything but driving. So there it goes up to 4A. Now if I wanted to go all the way up to 4D, I could. But that's where I've got it set. You can set that to whatever you want, and you can set the RPM to whatever you want. So if I want to go back down in gears, I'm just going to lower my throttle below the threshold, and I will manually drop the gears there here with the gear shift. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that on the road here where it was smoother. I couldn't quite do that in the field since it was a little rough. But anyway, that is how you set that up and how it works. So I'll try to work this in video too. Like I said, there's many features of this transmission, the way it's integrated in the tractor that I really like. It's my, like I said, my most favorite part of the tractor. And you know, it's just it's a good transmission. I think it's for this segment of tractor, this series and this size, John Deere and some of them have got some catching up to do on that. Overall, many of the manufacturers have got some catching up to do on this tractor, I think. But you know, just people got to find out about it and use them. You know, I took a big risk buying this tractor, not knowing how it would do. But other than minor issues I had initially, you know, 350 hours here, it's done well. And I'll show you the hours. So you've got two displays here in the tractor, and there's a little keypad right here to use to go through your menus here. So there's my hours. If you can see it, it's flashing 348.2 hours on the tractor, and that's where you see that. So anyway, I'm going to conclude this segment on the transmission now and move on to the next thing. I think I'll go over the inside of the cab here next, since I'm in here and got the air conditioning on and cooling down. And we'll be getting close to wrapping up my review here of the tractor here pretty soon.